One of the hardest things in life is to learn which bridges to cross and which bridges to burn. That is a quote from the Big O, the amazing and super successful Oprah Winfrey. When achievers, like you and me, talk about goals, ideas, and ambitions, it is usually more about doing more. New opportunities, new initiatives, new projects, new connections, new ventures, and so on. But most often, to get you from where you are to where you want to go, it is not about constructing new bridges. It is often, more times than not, as Oprah said, about selecting one of the bridges you already have and deciding which bridges you need to burn. When Steve Jobs returned to Apple in 1997, the company was, according to Steve, 90 days from being insolvent. Sales were dismal. The story goes that Steve was asked by a friend which computer she should buy. Steve was stumped. Despite hundreds of products, there was no clear answer to which one would be best for her. The company had been making multiple versions of products to satisfy requests from retailers, including 12 versions of the Macintosh computer. After weeks of meeting with product people, he had heard enough. Steve had to do, as Oprah said, select which bridges to cross and which to burn. In the middle of a product meeting, Steve shouted, "Stop!" and said, "This is crazy." Taking a marker, he drew a 4-box chart that would form the basis of the Apple product range for years to come. The 4 boxes would focus the company and help simplify the choice of a consumer only having to answer 2 questions. Are you an everyday consumer or are you a pro? And do you want a portable or do you want a desktop? That's it. Apple then selected 10 products that fit into those 4 boxes and burned 340 other products. Yes, even if they were making some money. Yes, even if they were somebody else's pet project. Yes, even if some customers, dealers, or distributors complained. Steve Jobs knew that even great ideas can kill productivity and progress. In his own words, Steve said, "Focusing is about saying no. You've got to say no, no, no. And when you say no, you piss people off." To Jobs, focus wasn't about willpower. It was about the courage to abandon 1,000 great ideas to meet one big goal, even if that made people mad in the process. Steve explained it to his team that Apple's ability to execute was really high, but that it was executing wonderfully on many of the wrong things. When there's this sort of distraction, said Jobs, the total is less than the sum of its parts. 1 year after Steve burned 70% plus of all the bridges at Apple, the nearly bankrupt company turned a very healthy $309 million profit. When Jobs died in October of 2011, Apple was already into the $300 billion market capitalization range. Then Steve's iPhone, which converged 3 product categories into 1 product, kicked into hyperdrive, and the company saw its value surge by $250 billion to $600 billion in a matter of months. As Steve was famous for saying, focus is about saying no. I'm actually as proud of the things we haven't done as the things as we have done. Innovation is saying no to 1,000 things. You have to pick carefully. So how about you? Are you trying to cross too many bridges? Do your goals, your ambitions, and plans have you constructing even more new bridges instead of selecting which to focus on and which to burn? Or maybe you need to stop worrying about what other people are doing. Maybe you need to stop worrying about finding that big idea. Maybe you need to take a step back from certain relationships. Maybe you need to stop working on a new project that you just started. Maybe you need to cut some family activities and focus on quality time instead. Think about it. Jot down some ideas in your Darren Daily Journal and share below which one or few bridges you're going to select to focus on crossing and which bridges are you going to choose to burn. If you are looking for more assistance on how to choose and other focus strategies employed by the super achievers like Oprah, Steve Jobs, and others, join me on the training broadcast, Insider Secrets of Super Achievers. It will definitely give you the direction that you need. I'll post a link to that training below. Attendance is free. It's on me through that link.